Right, 5%. We've heard, this being talked about in the past, that Trump might say this. Now he's said it. Your thoughts on how realistic that actually is?
Well, I think he's realistic. He's playing hardball. The question is how are the other countries going to react? Certainly, from the Baltic states, Poland, the countries on the eastern flank of NATO, they're edging up to 5%. I mean, I think they will embrace this. Finland will probably embrace it. But, you get, as the further west you go and you get to Canada, we're one of the lowest. And that means if you're going to go there, you have to make either substantial cuts to your social welfare programs, guns versus butter thing, or increased deficits, or a combination of the two. And this is now going to kick. This is exacerbating the various debates and discussions that countries like Canada are now having amongst ourselves, is how we will deal with the United States and the Trump administration and tariffs and all this thing. It's a whole new game now. It's hardball.
Even the United States, my understanding, Andrew, does not currently spend 5% of its GDP on defense. It's a lot closer than Canada is, at around 3.5%, but that would require a big increase in military spending even by the U.S. itself.
Yes, and I think Trump is probably going to go there because social spending is not a priority for him. He's already made huge cuts in 3 days in terms of the federal government on that sort of what we call the social or the left wing agenda, if you will. That's what he would characterize it at. So he's already claiming to save money, and he's got Elon Musk there. Planning to save even more money with his organization. So I think he may ratchet that up, and he's looking at pressuring China militarily, and so I think he wants to ramp up the U.S. military. Yep.
Yeah, I know, and we're apparently the federal government under Justin Trudeau has said it will eventually get to 2%. But just give us a sense, if we were to actually go to 5%, I mean, we're talking about, I can't imagine, maybe more than $100 billion in new spending?
Yeah, I can't do the numbers for you. I'm not a numbers person. But even getting to the 2%, it's a bit of a struggle. It can be done. There are plans how you can do it. Increase salaries to buy one thing, buy a bunch of other stuff for the North. That can be done. 5%, that's huge. That would require a lot of thinking and time, because the Defense Department can only procure at a certain rate. And it's been criticized as not procuring rapidly enough. Now there's complications, off-the-shelf buying, all those things. But the point is, this would be an unbelievable challenge for Canada to get there.
So how realistic do you think it is that any Canadian government would actually agree to boost spending to 5%? Is this sort of aspirational?
Well, it's very much aspirational, but in the world of Trump, realism is a very important word, because Trump is, I would call, a realist. Some people call him a transactionalist and so on. He means what he says, and he plays hardball. Now, he will negotiate to some degree. He believes in the deal, and the deal makes deals. But he likes to negotiate from a position of strength. The bottom line of all that is you've got to find out, what is Trump's motivations? What does he really want, bottom line, and then negotiate around all these things. So the 5% could be a negotiating angle there, but it's real, and you're going to have to give him something.
Right. Hey, Andrew, thanks for taking the time for us today. Great to see you as always.
You're very welcome, Todd.
All right, we're going to